And the box office top 10 this week include... have you seen everything, by the way? Because last week when we were doing this, there were a handful that you hadn't seen.
There's one that I haven't, which is actually the one I think I would have enjoyed the most, which is Shooter. Shooter is the one I haven't seen, and I really want to, because I really like Mark Wahlberg, but of course I felt that would be like skiving if you go and see it just because you actually want to get it, but I will see that next.
Number 10 this week is Meet the Robinsons.
Need to see it in 3D, because it's not much good in 2D. And it's not much good in 3D, but at least the 3D is actually quite good.
What does that add to it then if you see it in 3D?
Well, it adds 3 dimensions, Simon, rather than just
I know what it is, but how do you enjoy it more just because, something pops out at you?
Because you sit there and you go, well, there's nothing much happening, but at least it's happening in 3 dimensions, and they've done it quite well, because one of the things about, digital animation is it does enable you to do convincing 3D in a way that you couldn't really do with House of Wax or Jaws 3D or Friday the 13th 3D or Buona Devil or any of the sort of, the memorable 3D, other than, of course, the greatest 3D movie of all time, which is...
the Andy Warhol one.
Flesh for Frankenstein.
Most peculiar.
It's wonderful.
You don't want to see a liver quivering.
Udo Kier waving the offal in the face of the audience in the way that only he could.
Number 9, Das Leben der Anderen.
The Lives of Others. It is very good, and it's an extraordinary first feature. My only problem is it isn't Pan's Labyrinth. I should stop comparing it to them. It's just that it won the Oscar for Best Foreign Language Film, and I think that was undue considering the extraordinary achievement of Pan's Labyrinth, but it is good.
The Reaping is at number 8, starring last week's guest, the most excellent Dave Morris.
Who we told his film is tosh. I mean, you saw it, right?
Yes.
And you sort of soft-pedalled a little bit. No, I said it was tosh. It is tosh.
I said it's a horror movie for people who aren't like you.
It's rubbish.
No, that's your opinion.
Yeah, but
it's a horror movie.
Okay, now that David isn't here,
yes,
since I had the chutzpah to say to him, David, I really like you, but the movie stinks. Where do you stand?
You never actually said that.
I said it's tosh. I said it's rubbish. It's not scary.
Yes. I don't think any.
You don't think any of those things?
I don't think it's tosh. I don't think it's rubbish. It's not particularly scary. In fact, I knew right from the opening title sequence that it wouldn't be scary, but I enjoyed it.
Okay, I like David Morris.
Particularly The Locusts. The Locust is good.
The worst thing about The Locusts is The Locusts reminded me of Exorcist II: The Heretic, and all I could think was...
I haven't seen that, so...
No, well, that's Locust, right? And all I could think was, if John Borman had access to this CGI, just imagine what he would have done. The worst movie ever made may have been even worse.
300 at 7.
Turned up recently in Gerald Kaufman's article about how all civilization is falling apart and it's all the cinema's fault. I mean, big, oily... bare-chested blokes waving swords at each other for 90 minutes.
We expect 6 sides on Shooter by next week.
I will do that. So.
Alpha Dog's at 5.
See, Alpha Dog is funny. It is, people have said this, like the mainstream version of Bully, the Larry Clark movie. And everyone said, Justin Timberlake is a real revelation. Well, no, he's not. He's playing, a sort of baggy-trousered, lanky slacker character who gets... I mean, it's like, that can't be much of a stretch for him. If you said I'd like you to play a brain surgeon, that would have been different. But he's Justin Timberlake. And it's okay. My big problem with Nick Cassavetes is this, right? Nick Cassavetes, son of John Cassavetes, so everyone thinks he's a great hero of modern independent cinema. Fine, brilliant, oh yes, he's a... To me, he's the guy from those straight-to-video erotic thrillers like Sins of Desire, like Animal Instincts 2. I mean, that's how he will always be seen as me. He's the person who in Sins of Desire gets the best line, which is when his girlfriend rushes out of Delia Shepard's science laboratory, which she's been attempting to infiltrate for futuristic purposes, and she's had to be involved in a passing tryst with Delia Shepard in order to prevent Delia from discovering that she's actually infiltrating the science laboratory. And Nick Cassavetes, with a straight face, says, blimey, I'd rather have been shot in the other foot than have that happen. And that's how I will always remember him.
Blades of Glory at 4.
Funnier than one would expect from Will Ferrell. And, I laughed several times. It's not a masterpiece, but it's a lot better than a lot of Will Ferrell stuff.
Mr. Bean's Holiday this week's number 3.
I mean, I suppose the fact that it's still there in the charts meant that people did go and see it, but why is, really beyond me. I don't find Losing Your Wallet funny. I don't find Missing Trains funny. I don't find the idea of accidentally abducting children funny at all. I don't find it. No, but it's just, it's like, I'm sorry, did I miss a meeting? How did this happen? How did this become funny? And at one point he gets his tie stuck in a vending machine. Yeah, okay. And another point he empties his dinner into somebody's handbag. And I just think, I'm sorry, I just want you to be arrested by the gendarmes and savagely beaten up in custody.
Fracture at 2.
Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Oh, no, actually, on that
Yeah, you missed it, didn't you?
Shelby in Minnesota. I hope you have a chance to reconsider your ban of Mark's version of Sir Anthony Hopkins, based on some Sunday morning breakfast couple. This was last week's conversation. Dr. Kermode's impressions, sing-songs and accents may be cringeworthy, but they are what makes him such fun to listen to. Well, Shelby, I beg to differ. Leon in Cornwall, could you please get the good doctor to say
Sir Anthony Hopkins.
And Matt Damon at every opportunity. How do you do Matt Damon?
Matt Damon! But that's Team America World Police.
Oh, yeah, that'll do. And the UK's number one is Wild Hogs.
And here's the interesting thing. You said last week, then I said I haven't seen it. I had seen it. It's just that when I saw it, it was called City Slickers, and it had Billy Crystal in it.
But that was years ago.
It's the same film. Bunch of blokes with a midlife crisis decide to go off on motorbikes. Difference is, City Slickers, quite funny. Wild Hogs, not funny.
Yeah, there's an email here from Jeremy. He says, on Straightheads, Kermode is either going to love it or hate it. Looking forward to finding out which one, and also to the possibility of a Danny Dyer impression.
I'm very interested to know that somebody would think that there's a possibility that I could love Straightheads. You may have seen the posters for Straightheads. Incidentally, Alan Jones, his colleague and friend of mine, who's quoted on the poster for Straightheads saying, shocking, disturbing, extraordinary, and I'd love to see the sentence that came from.
Well, maybe that'll be one of the reviews banned under the Unfair Commercial Practices Directive.
Because I'd be very surprised if Alan was saying that in a positive way. It is a British rape revenge thriller. Imagine, if you will, Straw Dogs with Danny Dyer. All right, Danny Dyer, all right, yeah, hey, got a bit of Danny Dyer. Oh, yeah, I'm Danny Dyer, Blake, yeah, got that.
Jeremy is now extremely pleased that is indeed the impression that he got.
Death Weekend with Gillian Anderson. The story is, Dyer is a wide boy. All right, I'm Danny Dyer, yeah, I've got to sit...
We got that.
And he has
message.
to fit the security cameras in Gillian Anderson's house. You think, hang on, I've seen this movie. It's Night Eyes, isn't it? It's it's Night Eyes, directed by the bloke that made Shooters. He ogles Gillian Anderson in her underwear for a little while. Gillian Anderson improbably says, would you like to come to a party with me? He goes, oh, yeah, I'd like to go to a party. Yeah, all right, yeah, get in the car, all right, shoot us, all right. And they get in the car, and they drive off into a country road, and they get attacked savagely by a horrible gang. Some really nasty stuff happens. Gillian Anderson then decides that what they need to do is get together and take revenge on the people. And Danny Dyer goes, I don't know about revenge. All right, yeah, go, shoot us.
Like the Crankies.
Don't believe me. More importantly, I would love to have been at the meeting when Gillian Anderson's agent said to her, well, Gillian, things have been going pretty well for you. You did the X-Files, you made a whole bunch of money out of that. You did House of Mirth with Terence Davis. He's great. You did Tristram Shandy. You did Bleak House. What I think you need to do now is to do a film in which you're ogled semi-naked in the shower by Danny Dyer, followed by a really drawn-out, protracted scene of sexual violence, and then you take part in a scene which will doubtless go down in history as one of the most ill-advised revenge sequences ever, and which gives new meaning to the phrase rifle butt, and your career will drop like a stone from the actually, at the moment, quite elevated thing that it's on. As far as Danny Dyer's concerned, I'm sure his agent just went, Danny, yeah, I've got a thing. What do you want to do? You're a geezer. You're a geezer. You get in a car and you do the thing, and then it's Gillian. And Danny Dyer went, Gillian Anderson? Yeah, Gillian, it's great. I love Gillian Anderson. It's rubbish. It's really rubbish. And it thinks, I think, that it's making a serious point about the nature of, you remember all those lectures that we had after Last House on the Left? Hey, violence corrupts, blah. Yes, fine, I know. It was great. I'm very impressed by it. At least I was very impressed by it back in 1971. I can't believe the funding or the will to make this film existed.